Sadguru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste, namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba Ki Jai. How was the weekend? Concept free? Concept free? Weekend? so. There was this example I came across the other day. Every time I say the other day, these people laugh at me because it could be last week or it could be 2 years ago. I can't really tell. The example was that two men are standing. It's okay. Two men are standing. A breeze blows. One man says, the wind is so cold today. The other man says, the breeze is quite warm. One says it's so cold and the other one says it's quite warm. What is the truth?
None and both.
None and both.
One's an Indian, one's a Canadian.
One's Indian. Shanti says one is Indian, one is Canadian. But if your life depended on it, you see, you've been seeking this truth. You have made yourself a seeker of this truth of the temperature of the wind. And your life depended on it. What would you say is the truth?
I mean, logically, it would be that my body is, or what I'm feeling inside, is determining what is hot or cold of that wind to me.
What is the temperature of the wind?
So if I had a thermometer where we had made a concept of that 0 is 0 and then above it is warm and below it is cold, then if I would measure it in, like, say, wind temperature, I would get a number, 25 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Celsius or minus 5 degrees Celsius.
Yes.
But that would be because I had decided that 0 was like no, or something
that's cool.
like that.
That's fine. So suppose we have two thermometers. They also give different readings.
And my life depended on it.
Yeah.
Oh, Krishna. So, I would just say, I don't know.
If your life dependent on speaking the truth, what would you say? I don't know.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I can't say anything. There are two thermometers.
This is good. This is good. So now if I was to tell you that everything in life is like this. You see? We have made up perspectives, we have made opinions, beliefs out of just perspectives, out of just thoughts. But actually now, because there is so much investment into those opinions, beliefs, perspectives, we feel like I don't know is a waste.
So, Father, what came into my mind, Jeff,
Yeah.
I said, like, When you said that, there was something here confirming, saying it's true.
You see?
And then
So not even this. This is good. Because not even this. You see? What is happening is that Bhagavan says, for example, that as long as I am, everything is fine. The minute you buy into the idea I am something, that is the ego, jivatma, separation, individualization, ego, all of this. But this idea I am something depends on what? You see, it depends on I am, of course, but what is the position that you have with regards to this something? It's a perspective, it's a notion, it's an idea that I know what I am. I am this something. I am man, I am woman, I am human, I am good, I am bad. And the minute we put these perspectives onto ourselves, we also put them onto the world. I am like this, but the world is like that. I want to be free, but the world wants me to be earning a lot of money. I want to be free, but the world wants me to look after my responsibility. The minute we define ourselves, we start defining everything. Now, if what Bankai said is true, that all things are perfectly resolved in the unborn, if all things are perfectly resolved in the unborn, then what is all of this about? I've also reminded you again and again that there is no such thing as a neutral thought. Even this thought is an assertion, it is not neutral. Even to say there is no neutral thought is an assertion. It in itself is not neutral. So the unborn is this neutrality. This notionlessness is this neutrality. The I am, empty of the notion of something, is this neutrality. And it would be a struggle if you had to go looking for it. Is it? Now where do I go to find it? But I am telling you that it is just here now, naturally present. Is it? Now depending on what you say, which could be but, you see, then I can give you an answer which fundamentally will only say that what the but is not true, and in varying degrees. And I've also been quite open and told you all the tools I have in my arsenal for this, isn't it? You see? As I do you really know this? Say, but how can I stay in it? You see, for example, yes, it's here now, I sense it. And when I come to Satsang, in your presence, all of these things. But how can I stay in it? You see? Then the master will say something like, can you leave it actually and show? Do you really know that you have to stay in it if you can't leave it? You see? Or the master will say, who is it, the I, that wants to stay in it? You see? Or the master will say, what does it mean to stay or to go? Or the master will say, Guru Kripa Kevalam. To stay or not stay is master's problem. You see? So that's all that the sage is doing. He might be like he's very intelligent. You see, he has lot of tools. All he's doing is questioning your doubt. You see, he's not answering your question. He's just questioning your question. And mostly it is very irritating when he's questioning your question because you came for answers presumably. You see, no, these children, they're new. So suppose she says, I came for this and I wanted to understand that and I want freedom or something like that. And if I say that the question itself does not apply to the reality of you, all these people come here to listen to this every day. The question itself is not applicable to the reality of you, is all that I'm pointing at, isn't it? All the answers are not giving you, hopefully, not giving you too much that you can put into your bag of beliefs and concepts further. You see, we are not feeding more milk to that cat, to the non-existent cat ego. You see. So all that is really happening is that the master is trying to find a way in which to deconstruct any notions that you have about yourself so that you can come to this notionless existence, this unborn, this I amness without something, prior to the birth of the individualized, the seeming birth of the individualized consciousness. This is all there is. You see.
One question.
Now, if you're in your naturalness, it was needed that you knew something. You see? Then Bankai would have said, the unborn plus this knowledge. You see? If it was needed that you understand something, you have figured something out, you have calculated the equation to freedom. You see? Then Bankai would have said, not just the childlike innocence of the unborn, but also you need to have solved this equation, you see. But it is not that. You see? So the premise itself, what we are trying to sort out or figure out, you see, and maybe Jnana Yoga is a misleading term somewhere because it can feel like I need to get more and more knowledge. You see? So Jnana truly must mean the light of pure seeing, not the light of some concepts, you see, or the shadow of some concept. You see? So, what is here in the light of your pure seeing, independent of any notion that you have about yourself? You see? Now, my proposal to all of you is that the complete truth is completely apparent right now to you in your seeing, but not in your saying, thinking, you see, not in your intellectualizing. You see. This is my proposal, that the unborn is here now. Your notionless existence is naturally present. Therefore the truth cannot be distant, cannot be in the future. Now, who will you go to for confirmation? Who will you go to for confirmation? Will you go to the voice in your heads? But, you see, this is what the voice will say, you know. But, all very good, today's Satsang. But, you see, this is the thing. When it knows it is outnumbered in a sense, then it will also try and be your spiritual friend and say, this is very good, it's all making sense. But, you see, so my proposal was what? Who remembers my proposal?
Truth is absolutely truth is absolutely apparent right now,
Yeah.
without any interpretation or mind or I don't know that.
Good. The truth is absolutely apparent to you right now. Now, where will you go for confirmation?
Who is it that wants this confirmation? Who is it that wants this confirmation?
Who is it that wants this confirmation is the same one that wants anything else. In the sense that who is it that wants freedom? Is it? Who is it that wants to come to Satsang? That same one. Is it? So, who is here? So when someone asks me this question, I say, okay, make it simpler. Like my son is studying for his SATs, okay? So there they have these multiple choice. So can you give me the options? What are the various options for this? Who wants confirmation? A is person, say, personal identity. Okay, what is the second option? Yeah, you can make it simpler for me. Is it? The mind wanting something. You see? Now, another proposal for you is that the mind, whatever it wanted, already gone. You see? Whatever the mind wanted is already gone. So, now what is left? It can come back, of course, and say, see? So it's like that tree which vanishes, but you pull one leaf from it and it seems to come back. You see? It vanishes this moment. You cannot bring your mind into this moment naturally. You see? Whatever your conditions are, whatever your belief systems are, whatever you think is true, all is gone. Best cleaning lady in the world has done her job. All is cleaned up. You see? Now the mind will come again. But what about?
The fear of the unknown.
The fear of the unknown, she said. Yes. Yes. This fear of letting go is just this fear of the unknown. Whether you call the unknown the fear of losing identity, the fear of dying, the fear of not existing, the fear, and it takes all of these various forms. It can even take a very worldly form like, how will I live my life? You see? It is the same fear of unknown. You see? And that is why the Master is here to tell you that this fear, it comes very naturally, but I am here to hold your hand through this fear, you see? So that you can see that it can take nothing which is real away from you. And this fear of the unknown is what many of you are encountering, because I have given you another proposal. I have told you that to know even one thing is to know too much. But I have asked you to look and tell me what you know when you know nothing. What is the message behind those tears, my dear? You can come closer, maybe. You can make some space.
I'm done looking for this.
You're done looking for this? You have to elaborate a bit more? Yeah.
I don't even know what it is anymore. It's just so many ideologies behind. The more you get close, the more something else comes about, and then it puts you back from where you started.
Take an example.
Like, think you get a glimpse of it, and then it just doesn't last for long, and then you go back to your life routine and it just disappears. And then you hear it, and then it just it resonates with you, and you're like, oh my god, that's what it is, and then it goes back again. I can't let go because I know it's the truth, but can't seem to sustain it.
Yes. I'm a bit nuts in a way. Okay. Why? Because when you report to me that I get a glimpse of it and then I lose it, you see, I want to invite you to actually right now lose it. Like, don't have it, lose it. Is it lost? But
Not really.
if it can be gotten and it can be lost, it was never it anyway. So the glimpse, as you call it, can be an insight, an experience of it in a way which can seem uninterrupted by the mind or uninterrupted by something else. You see, some clarity or something like this. But if it becomes about that, you see, then it is not that.
Okay.
It is not that. You are not trying to get to something. I am inviting you to lose it. Like, instead of trying to find it, you lose it. Like you would say, I come here looking for myself. You see? Now, I ask you, can you stop being? Try to stop being. Don't be. Can't. So that being which everybody seems to be chasing, that Atma, that sense of presence, that consciousness, is just naturally here. In fact, whatever you might do, you cannot lose it. You see? Now, are you aware of this or not? You are aware that you exist. Before it sounds very fancy, I have to catch you quickly, you see? Okay. Because otherwise it will become a thing. Yeah. So, you're aware that you're here. You're just aware. Now this awareness, can you switch it off? That's it. Now if you don't go to the peddler of objections, which will come and say, objection, Your Honor. The truth of this is completely apparent. And even if you do go to it, all it will tell you is a doubt. But the fact is, as you experiment with this, you will see that if it was real, it can never be lost anyway. I can't stop being. And so naturally I am just aware of my existence. So if that story went away, the story of the spiritual seeker, who had all these struggles, she went here, she went there, she went to this satsang, this teacher, this retreat, this, that, this book and all is gone. Now what is left? You know what else is there? And is this, I don't know, good news or bad?
Is it good?
Yeah, I would say it is good. Actually, it is nothing like everything else. But if you were to say good or bad, I would say it is good. Now, how will you make yourself suffer? Which concept will you use? Because without concept, you know that you can't suffer. No? Have you seen this? You see this?
Yeah.
So now what will you use?
The concept. That's it.
Even that's it is not it.
It's not it.
Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Is it? It is neither it nor not it. Is it? It is not applicable. You see, the thing is that we've been using this instrument, you see, to measure reality in some way. You see, and we're waiting for a certificate from that one to say this is it. You see, it can't be. So it's just like saying, I use the weighing scale in the kitchen to measure the weight of the earth. You see, it is too small. It cannot fathom this reality. You see? So its objections and its certifications don't mean anything to the reality of you, which we just experimented and saw you cannot lose.
Something is coming and say it can't be that.
Yes, I'm used to this one.
Yeah?
Yes, and that is why Satsang Monday to Friday. It wasn't come closer. If it wasn't that one, then one Satsang would have been enough. I have shared thousands over the last 5 years.
Okay.
This doesn't mean that any of what it is saying is true. It is just that you seem to be playing in that way, that you buy into its story of either achieving or not achieving. You see? So if the weighing scale says infinity or 0 or 5, I am telling you that this weighing scale cannot measure it.
Okay.
You see? So it just seems like there is a habit, there is a condition where we seem to refer back to the mind over and over to give us confirmation or certificate about something. So initially it can seem like a bit of a three-way conversation. I'm speaking here, you're listening here, and mind is also speaking there. It's just like a bit of a struggle, is it? And that can feel like a bit uncomfortable because it's like trying to ride two horses at the same time or sit on two chairs at the same time. Is not so comfortable. But you'll get used to it as you come to satsang, that you'll start listening to this voice, which is just representative of your own intuitive voice anyway. Is it? It's just, okay, we won't get into why it has to play like this.
I want to let life pass me like a dream.
Say again, I don't
Do I
want
let
to.
life pass me like a dream?
All of these confusions are not about the content of life or any event or how we should live. It is about who you are. So who should... Are you speaking as that being that you saw just here naturally? Are you speaking as that which is aware even of this beingness? Which one is worried about life passing?
Stories that it says to you.
Yes.
Trying to see what else is. Hmm? Good. And don't worry, the mind will come with a lot of offers. Eh?
Is this it? Is this not it? No. Yes, no. Well, just look at it as a stand-up comedian. Namaste Father. I had a question. Bhagwan always said nothing to practice. He pointed directly by inquiring, who am I? But then why did he still practice all those practice of rituals like offering to the fire before cooking food? How does that make sense? Why to follow these rituals? At least for me, it is no meaning or makes no sense. But was curious why Bhagwan followed. Please explain. We'll watch the video later. I have to go now. There's a sweetness in these things. You see, there's a sweetness in these. Even these rituals, if they're done playfully and lightly. Playfully, if you play this game of seeing that God is there, God is here, and you're bowing down to everything as God, or whatever that form of that playfulness might take, you see. Because waking state is full of activity, you see. So nothing is required. Bhagavan never said that we need to be this way or that way. It is something which naturally unfolds, something which seems light, playful, easy. Like in the Kendra here also we have all these photos on the walls. Why do we have them actually? Why do we need them? It is just because sometimes we're buying into some story on the mind, and we look at that photo of Papaji, for example. It just drops. Or you look at Guruji, pass me that Guruji. It's a good reminder. No matter how seriously you're taking yourself, that one moment where you see that. So these are beautiful reminders that we have everywhere, and we pray to them, we give them thanks, and we hold them in our hearts with gratitude. So nothing is required, there is no prerequisite. I have not prescribed any daily schedule or anything like that. And yet, because waking state is there, you will see that this realm is full of activity. You see, even if the body is lying down or sitting down, it is also activity. You see? So in this realm of activity, some sweetness is there. No. Okay, Cad wants to come. You can come, my dear. Let's see where you are. Ah, yes. Okay.
Alright. We get things set up. I'm sorry. I had can you hear me? Hear me? Okay, I had the USB connected to the TV. Give me 1 second. Okay. Good morning, Father. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. I got here a little late, but I'm happy to be here. Take a second. So, I really appreciate our last conversation. And I've looked at it a couple of times. And I didn't hear you ask me to continue singing the song. I would have stopped everything to sing for you. Do it now? What you saying? Do it now? All right. I'm nervous, but I guess that's not the self. It's a celebration, no condemnation. No condemnation, no condemnation. Grace is sufficient, no condemnation. No condemnation, no condemnation. It's a celebration, no condemnation. No condemnation, no condemnation. Grace is sufficient, no condemnation, no condemnation, no condemnation. So that's it. I can't hear you guys, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'll say that I love singing a lot. I wouldn't say I love singing. I like writing music, and I like writing what I feel, and I feel something with that. I'll leave that alone for now. Over the weekend, I've been thinking about actually being with you physically, and I wanted to hear what you had to say about that. Part of me wants to believe that truth is truth, regardless of physical presence or anything like that. But I think about other people's stories, right? And maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. And, Ramana went to the mountain, Muji was led to India. Eli was led to Papaji. I'm not trying to make a story, but I love you very much. Beyond the physical. And I feel something. And again, I'm not trying to make a story, but I'm blessed to be in your presence and to talk to you. I understand what's going on here. And I know that there's a blessing here. I know you, I see you as a living guru, how you see Muji probably. And that's it. I just been thinking, should I go to India? Should I be looking into getting my passport? What needs to happen? But that's been on my heart, like to be with Father physically, to be with the Sangha, to be with you guys in that room right now. So that's it. I'll be quiet. I'll mute.
Now say what yours.
Please come.
So that was the answer. Maybe a simpler answer is that for all of you, any of you, that if you feel life is making the space and it won't be too much of pushing, struggle, then, and if you feel like it's possible, you must come. It's very good. Like you said, there is actually, it's fine, even like this, even to read a transcript or watch YouTube or any which way in which we are connected is fine. And yet, if there is an opportunity, if there is space in life to be able to make it to Satsang Hall, then it's good if you come. It's good. You see? And you also spotted very rightly where you said it's not about that story. It's not that what needs to happen, because that we answered last time. You see? That answer won't change. Whether you're here or whether you're there, the answer will be that answer. That your freedom is just that one moment of leaving your reality uninterpreted, unjudged, inconclusive mentally. You see? So whether that is Bangalore, America, wherever it is, That will not change. That is the only freedom, that is the only enlightenment. In fact, that is the only practice, if there is such a thing as practice. I'm happy to see how this unfolds, and if life does seem to be making some room for you to be able to come to Bangalore, be in touch with all of us and we help you in that process. You want to say something, Nadia?
I appreciate the fact of feeling so welcome and loved in this space. Um, I do. I don't know if that's egotistical or not, but I'm gonna say that and I stand on that. I just feel so loved and drawn here. And I'll open up a little bit more. For some reason, I don't have any friends anymore. They got it taken away from me. And I realized that a few years ago, I prayed that some toxic stuff would be taken out of my life. And I prayed about that because I was drawn to it and I knew it was wrong, right? And now it's gone. These people gone, like left, like out of nowhere, friends and just different scenarios, but everything is gone. And I'm really by myself, kind of, you know. I call grandma, but I'm in Chicago. She's in Virginia, so that's like hours away, 13 hours drive, right? You know how I feel about grandma. So, but in Chicago, I'm here by myself, right? But I have you guys, and I don't know if this is where I need to be at for whatever reason, but a lot of music's been coming out, and I see that me and you are getting closer, and I'm getting closer with the Sangha, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Why? I don't know. But this is kind of what's going on with me, and the support that I'm getting from you guys right now is grace. I see it as. Does that make sense? Because I know I kind of came out of nowhere with this, but I just wanted to make a connection with how I feel about you guys and where I'm at and the part this is playing, you know. And I guess that's why I was like, well, maybe I need to go to India. You know, all this stuff is coming in front of me, and I was looking at Bangalore. That's how you pronounce it, on this weekend, and I don't know, but I just wanted to share more with you guys. That's it.
Very good, my dear. Very beautiful report as well. The Sangha is here for you. All of this environment is here for you to come to enjoy the presence of Satsang. You see? But you have to remember that, in a sense, everyone is going through struggles, everyone is going through various things in their life, letting go of their conditions and things. So when you come, better if you don't come with any preconceptions about the Sangha. Because for many it can also be like a strong satsang, you see, to be with Sangha, to live with Sangha, especially because culturally there are so many differences also, no? So staying with the Sangha is very beautiful, but many times what can happen is that we can have some ideas that it is utopian or something, but it isn't. No matter which Sangha, you see, it doesn't, because everybody is in a way unfolding through this recognition of the self, to coming to this naturalness, you see. And you know that many times as you're going through this, a lot of stuff comes up, you see. So it can play as a huge support, and it can become very big satsang if we have some definite expectations or preconceived notions about how it is going to be, you see. But you're very, this is not to dissuade you. They think they're the best. they are saying that they're the best sangha ever. So.
It's just a big party here.
Sometimes it's a big pity party. You're very welcome, my dear. All of you are completely welcome. Good? Good for today? Thank you, Rob. Rob says check out Scott's Cheap Flights. They posted a $645 flight from Chicago to Bangalore yesterday. Right. $645. Is that return or one way?
Return.
$645.
Yeah.
Round trip.
That's not bad.
No.
That's good.
The American.
Round trip, he says.
One
The
way.
song was very good. The song was really good. In fact, we were singing some songs the other day. We were preparing to record some music here, and everyone was remembering you. That Father, you should have asked Cad to finish his song. So if you do end up coming, then we go for recording studio when you're here as well. Loved it. Right. Amaya says Chicago is close to where I am. Wonder when your Thiru retreat will be, or whether let's see, once you come, whatever you say. If you come, whatever you say goes. Yes? Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki
Jai. Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam.